Alright, so today's video is a Jungle Kayn game, and it's mostly being uploaded because it's the only surviving replay. Yay. So the reason I haven't been uploading is because every replay seems to die several points throughout it. Like, I had a Warwick video I wanted to upload a week ago, which I thought was really good, and every 2 minutes it does this crash. And I can try to salvage it, because it happens at the same spot, but I have to cut like 10 to 20 and in some cases 30 seconds of around that area in order to prevent a crash. Essentially, go into the game and skip it and to whatever point would crash it, and then skip that point entirely. And it just made some janky videos. And it happened to a lot of replays. The video is the only one that makes it throughout the entire thing without crashing. Seemingly, the longer the game is, the more crashes it will have. Ugh. So, there are some other games that have only one crash, so maybe that will be fine. So I might upload those too. But right now, this is the only one that made it through. So essentially, the latest patch that Riot had, the Yumi patch, broke replays in not the worst way, but in a way that is pretty annoying. But either way, let's get to the game. Yes, I'm fighting a Rammus who is extremely predictable, and essentially I was able to punish him for the first blood and then go forward, try to kill more people, but Thresh fails his Q, and I wasn't necessarily in position to kill the Soraka, so they just got away. If you look at their team composition, it is a scary one in terms of engaging them, because if you engage poorly, the Heimerdinger is just going to kill you when the Rammus just taunts you. So you'll see me max W first. Well, I got 2 ranks in Q, mostly because that's a pretty good rank to have your Q at to clear well and do some damage early game. But I'm going to max my W out with the intention of fighting this more with a little bit of space between me and in a much safer position, just so I don't get killed by the Heimerdinger. That's what's going through my mind. Rank up W, and both forms, Rost and Shadow Kayn, are pretty good evolutions. Although I'm feeling that I should probably go Blue Kayn at this point, because the Rammus doesn't seem like, I don't want to be too harsh, not the greatest player. In this same case here, you saw me, and I've explained it in past videos. I put down the ward, and the monster wasn't there. But in the mini-map, the symbol for the blue golem was still there, which meant he hadn't killed it, which meant he had dragged it off screen or off vision. So obviously just caught him and killed him. And as a result, that just absolutely caves in Rammus' chances of succeeding. At this point, I've gained a disgusting amount of momentum that Rammus just kind of gets destroyed. So, here's the thing about Rammus. Rammus is a good solo queue champion. He's pretty effective, can make a lot of, early game shenanigans happen. He can transition really well against certain champions. But he has always been notoriously a jungler with absolutely terrible recovery. If you shut down a Rammus, if you just steal his jungle, if you control his ganks and his mobility, he will fall behind so hard. He is a champion that needs to have levels in his abilities in order to clear quickly and effectively. He is a champion whose ganking is so predictable. It's really effective at certain ranges, but it's very predictable, that if you make it so he's behind in items or whatever, because he honestly has a really weak delivery system, or a delivery package, because he himself getting to a target and grabbing somebody doesn't really do very much. You can just turn around and kill him, or making counter ganks. You make counter ganks against him super deadly. Again, essentially, a pick like Kayn can absolutely shut down a Rammus if you're very effective against him. Like, there's very little he can do. Even with that little bit amount of health and mana, I could deal a bunch of damage against him, not exactly kill him, and then just sort of run away, which would, again, slow him down. Essentially put, Kayn is like in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing. He's a really deadly counter pick against Rammus. And if he even got big against me, I could just go Rost and eventually dunk him, because just Rost is a pretty good tank killer. And then you got a bad combo with Rammus, a predictable jungler a jungler who is very, level dependent for his clearing. It's not that great. And he's honestly pretty item dependent too. That's a lot of bad combinations. He's someone in line for a better update because he kind of has a lot of issues with him. But again, he's pretty effective in solo queue because he can rampage and he can get momentum. And this video kind of turned out to be more about talking about Rammus, but you could just see for yourself what's going on. Rammus was unable to control me this game. He was unable to present any sort of challenge or, do anything to survive against me. He didn't know what he needed to do in order to keep me in check, or at least, protect himself against me, that I was able to exploit him. And now because of that, I'm just running a train on his team. Look at that. It's just like, and nobody is safe at this point. Look at Rammus's, spread right now. It's really poor. His farm is almost half as mine. And when you saw me change, or yeah, you'll see me change the gold, or I think you already did see me change the gold. His gold is pathetic compared to mine. And like throughout this whole game, you could see what items I have. I only went to buy one item this entire time. I have my jungle item and a dusk blade, and then eventually I go back and buy a bunch more. So essentially, throughout this entire game, I've been keeping the momentum, just going back through the map, causing havoc, farming and nonstop, just being a huge menace. While Rammus has basically been having to play catch up the entire time, and he's just been getting lower and lower. There's no way he can catch up to me at this point, except through lucky kills if my teammates decide to throw their lives away. But as you can tell by the video length, that's not going to happen. So, if there's anything good about this replay, which again I'm mostly using because a lot of the other ones are dead, is that you can kind of see what happens when you pick a jungler who is weak against a certain other jungler. I believe I picked Kayn first, and then he picked Rammus. And when you see that happen, and you take no precautions or know how to deal with your counter champion, and as a result, the game just runs away from your entire team. Carry junglers need to be taken care of, and if you don't, they will rampage. And I love how I killed this Riven, because it's just like art, dodging a lot of her damage with my abilities and then just tearing her to pieces. She was gonna die anyways because I'm just super fed, but eh. And as far as suggestions of fixing this replay issue, people have said, why don't I just put stream cuts? Because I did that in the past. But honestly, some of my stream cuts can have a lot of dead time because I'm not always the most talkative person on stream because I do that whole super focus. But also, I tend to cuss a lot and, say a lot of things. And those are not exactly healthy for YouTube. On Twitch, I don't care. I don't even monetize my Twitch aside from sponsors. I don't run ads or anything, so it doesn't matter what I say. So it's pretty rated R on my stream. On YouTube, I gotta keep it, a little bit more tempered. So yeah. So here's hoping for the next patch that comes out, the replays are working better, and I'm gonna try to see which replays out of the almost 20 games I have lined up work out, because I have a lot of good footage that I want to use. It's just most of it is broken. Anyways, thank you for watching.